Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're taking a look at the live versions of the battle mission from Street Woman Fighter Season 2. So I do know that there are multiple facets to how the criteria works. We have a Section A, a Section B, and a Section C, each with different requirements, and so for this, we're going to be taking a look at each crew's individual sections. I'm pretty pumped about it. It's going to be great. I've already analyzed A and C from all crews, gave my thoughts there. If you're curious, I'll tag them below in the corresponding sections of these videos. Definitely intrigued at some of the results I've already been hearing about, but I'll get into that whenever I get into the analysis. Let's go ahead and get started.
레이디바운스.
All right.
최대한 침착하게 하자.
Let's go!
Let's go, Biggy!
Ah, that was fun. Yeah. So her crew is definitely helping frame this well, which is nice. This is strong from her. I really like that.
아니 진짜 좋았고 이거
Oh man, Audrey. So somebody called it that each the person with the most no respect stickers.
그녀가 왔다. 진짜 어떡해. 무서워.
Oh, this track is wild. Ooh. This song is so good for her exploration. That was...
Yo, who that boy? Who that boy? I swear, stand out guy, him don't need no chair. What I'm
Oh my god! Oh my god, Audrey! This was so good! It makes me so proud of her! Look at her stability!
I swear, stand out guy.
Oh!
Him act 'cause I'm right here.
Oh! I'm getting emotional! Oh my gosh!
All this you can give me some more 'cause then I
Oh!
then you know that
Yeah!
근데 몰입이 빡대는데? 미쳤는데?
him act 'cause I'm right here.
Ah!
All y'all just all this you can give me some more 'cause
Ooh, do you see her pattern she's doing right now?
I'm pretty confident I can win.
Oh!
레이디바운스.
Whew, boy, on that one. Wow. Okay. We gotta look. Just from the we gotta start with Biggy. This is definitely one of my favorite sets I've seen from Biggy. Really. And that's what I freaking love about when we get to this section of the series. With any of them, you get to see some of the best sets from these crews, period. And that's what honestly, my favorite part of the series is the elimination battles, because you get to see some of the best. You really do, from the crews, because there's this drive, this rawness, and it's just, whew, you know what I mean? And so here, both Biggy and Audrey, best sets they've done, hands down. Honestly, I'm just gonna say this right now, if Section C looks similar to what we've already seen before, this is probably gonna be my favorite section from this entire exchange between Ladybounce and Jam, hands down. Really, that's how I genuinely feel at this moment. It may change, but just look at this, like, just that, like, her imagery, like, look in the mirror, Like how she's bringing it about and around. I love it. And how she's committing to her character 100% of the way. Very important to do here. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. And also we got to take note that I really feel like 30 seconds, they get to do their own vibe. Could be planned, all freestyle, things like that. But it's songs that they're familiar to, and I love that. I'm wondering if they got to pick the song they wanted to do, which I'm hopeful that's the case, because you get to see the crews who they choose to bring out at their best. And I love that, you know, because it would be disadvantageous for a crew to get a track that they don't know at the same degree that another crew, it's like, oh, that's my fight song. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's something to take into account for. Biggy really gets to showcase what makes her vibe what it is, you know? For me, I really love her usage of the tightening of the shoulders to really create a lot of these kind of tension, lanky positions, but it still looks very strong and neutral in posture, and I really like it. And I know Trix, I mean, of course, you saw that Trix really liked it. She builds up and she placates with the concept until she wants to send it off. And that's really shows fluency of being comfortable as an artist in the freestyle toolkit. And I absolutely love this so much. Leadybaunce was really helping here. We also see that they're getting their little backpacks on. I know that was a whole thing of, you know, that's something that Leadybaunce has done before in the past. Could be crew previews or something, but it is nice that they're providing energy to Biggy that really helps. But also note, these people back here can't really see what Biggy's doing nearly as much as the people from the sides are. That's a big thing. I've already mentioned that with Bebe and Wolflo, and one of the first ones I watched of theirs. A lot of times, these people in the audience are not seeing what's going on stage. And I don't know if there's monitors or anything that's showing this either, but like, whew, goodness gracious. Like when you I love the energy going to the floor. Everything looks stable. Her transitions going from the floor up to the top. She didn't do anything that overly repeated, and I really think that how she kind of placated around with her, like I said, with her concepts, I think it matched the music. Wordplay was phenom. Definitely strong set from her. And I'm going to say this, if Audrey brought what she normally brings, that would have been super, super even and super, super tight from a fight judge perspective. Goodness gracious. But we got to take a look here with Audrey. This track.
Put out our secret weapon.
This song, so I will say the very first time I heard this song, it was actually when I was adjudicating for, it was Mega Crew, and I heard this track. It was the first time I had heard it, and how I saw the crew integrate their choreography on the track was phenomenal, because it just has that kind of grotesque pocket, you know, where you have to just be weird in your choices to make sure you justify all of the timbres and sound context, not just the basses. Like the basses are cool, but you gotta finagle all the rest of it to make those basses justified. And Audrey was, when I honestly, subconsciously, when I heard this track, as soon as I heard it come on and I said what I said, I knew Audrey's pocket was about to be disgusting. Disgusting in the best way possible. Because how Audrey carries herself, she can make really nice angles because of her arms and how she utilizes her arms and her tension through some of her postures that she chooses to explore and some of her fundamentals that we've seen, or choreography pockets that we've seen her explore before in other avenues. But just this right here, I really think everybody got caught off guard by this. Yeah.
Battle mode.
Starting with the head ISO. Pushing back the head ISO, waving it up. It's this right here, right? So she doesn't stop it up. She has this hyper extension appearance of how she's holding these postures, but she's so stable in them. And it's so counter what we're normally used to seeing as somebody's typical range of movement, which is why when people do bone breaking, which is like the isolation, bringing it around the back, I'm not going to demonstrate it. I can't do it. And I'm okay with that. But when you see people kind of do those rotations and not dislocations, but that kind of double jointedness, it creates that like, ooh, that's not supposed to happen, because normal humans, you know, we normally have a range that goes from here to here to here to here, but she went here, you know, and that's why hyperextension a lot of times can be very fascinating when utilized in this way. Sets it up. That was gorgeous. Gorgeous. They're going to replay it like 15 times, so let's look. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how she balanced it. Gosh, she slams it down right there. I'm trying to catch it. There we go. Look at this position. You actually gotta give her props. Look at where she's placing her weight. It appears she's placing it on the first 2 toes of the ball of the foot, and that's the ideal position. Whenever you're doing anything of a turn of any kind, that's probably one of your most consistent places to place your balance because it's very stable. And if you cater it more towards the pinky toe area, you're gonna be more susceptible to sickling, and you can end up rolling your foot. And so that's why a lot of us tell dancers to be mindful of putting it near the big toe, not on the big toe, but the padding underneath the big toe. So I really love that. And look at the position. She's stacked. Look at this. And she's engaging her core. I mean, it does appear like she's crunching her lower back just a little bit, but I feel like because of the fluency of her turn and how she's choosing to spot it, it's just gorgeous. I really love this. And part of the illusion was the fact that she was able to go so far back and kind of keep that head in isolation there. That right there, going and dropping into a windmill. I will say, if we are doing strict critiques, she did kind of tap that foot down at the bottom, so it does look like a crash, right? But honestly, because this is like an all styles battle, I don't think that that's going to be like a major fundamental thing that is catered into this. We're looking at overall package, not just the specific fundamentals being executed. How she hits this, she just dropped down and rode out the base and scooped it out like it was freaking bubblegum. Man, look at her tuts. That right there, where she goes, she threads it into the tap connection of the elbow and the knee. That was probably one of the most gorgeous threadings that she has ever done. Look at that. Oh, it's smooth. Yeah, it's threaded through, and it feels like Audrey, but like she upgraded five iOSs in comparison to what we've seen from other people. It could be because the only other times I've seen her perform or freestyle in this way was in the very first episode. So there's been weeks, that like months, honestly, at this point, that we haven't seen her freestyle. And this is just, she feels like a completely matured dancer in comparison to what we've seen. Ugh. She's like, I'm right here. And you see the dig in the extra reverberation of how she chooses to let that arm track towards that chest. Oh, good God, it's so good. And then look at her pocket too. She is having slight nuances of crump fundamentals here, which could placate the tricks very well. The aggression and how she hits some of these pockets is similar to how a lot of crumpers associate with the ISOs and the pops. I love, just look at this into the punches. It's so, like, how she's threading is different. Look at the shock that people have. Look, there's like genuine shock that people have. Look at her face. Like, it's genuine, like she wasn't expecting that. I don't think any of us were. Like, this is so, look at them. Look at Wooflo. They're like, what? Goodness gracious. Yeah. Knock them out. Oof, the wordplay is sick. Yeah, I would say that's probably one of the only things that we've already seen repeated is that bleed out or that wave, finger waving through. But honestly, it looks great both times she placed it. That's just my only note. We've seen it, but also note she chose to get in and out of it differently than how she did from the forefront. That right there. Yeah.
Pretty confident I can win.
Yeah, she chose striped shirt. Goodness gracious, guys. So if we're going out of those two, my vote probably would go to Audrey out of the two, because with Biggy, she brought a very strong set. She matched her music well. She placated on the wordplay very well, but when it comes to shock value, influence of how the audience was influenced, her the fluency and the complexity and the abstractness of the choices to the music and the musicality hitting with the music, I would say Audrey had a more difficult setup, and she really placated and created very different ebb and flows. It really felt like a whole new world of exploration from what we've seen from her in the past in comparison to Biggy. But Biggy, that was a fabulous set from her. But if we were just to isolate this, my vote would have personally gone to Audrey, just for the things that I had mentioned previously. Whew, that was such a good section. Like, goodness gracious. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was helpful in some way. I know with these particular reactions, I am focusing more on other aspects outside of just the content. I am comparing the analytical version of what I watched with the camera only versus the live and how things have changed. And I know a lot of you have done the same. And honestly, I feel like with some of my votes, it kind of is up in the air because of different factors and different aspects outside of just the content we're watching. But I'm really thankful for the fact that I'm able to do these, be able to discuss alongside you guys, and be able to interact with everybody in the community, both on YouTube and on Patreon. It is all so humbling for me of the fact that I'm in a position where I can actually contribute anything helpful for others who enjoy the show just like myself. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.